Welcome back to the channel. This is Simon Cromer, and today we're doing a video on how to buff in between boat letters. Now, before we really get started, if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button now. Be sure to check out the new website 1%detail.com. This is going to be a great starting point for accessing many of the best detailing products in the market today. You're going to be able to access my website, topdockpro.com. You can check out our blogs, our courses, anything you need to search is going to be in 1% detail. So guys, with that said, I think today is going to be an interesting video, and I think it's going to be a simpler solution than you had imagined. Let's get started. So the first thing we're doing right here is we have our applicator, and this is really important with this part of the boat because it's really hard if you don't have an applicator to get the compound in all of these spaces and in between the letters, and that is super important before you start buffing. So you want to make sure you have an applicator and you get all the compound and you kind of rub it in too. So get that compound in between every single letter, every single crack, crook, get it inside and scrub it out and really get a good base, which is going to set you up great for the next step of actually buffing this out. Once you have all the compound on the boat, and we did go a little thicker here because we are working with some oxidation, then it's time to get the buffer out. So we have the DeWalt rotary buffer, and we have this set at the lowest RPM. So 600 RPMs is going to ensure that we're not going to break any of the letters. We're not going to knock them off the boat. So really important that you're running this buffer at the lowest setting. So we're going to do that, and we're really just going to work in the compound. The compound needs time to work. Oh, and by the way, we're using Stark Level R. So a great diminishing compound. Run it low, give it that time to work. And yeah, I'm just starting here at the top, kind of working this top section in, getting the top part of the letters, and just being really careful about it. Now on the left side, you can see this little smudge here. That's just compound that hasn't been fully worked in yet. So don't worry about that too much. Just going to continue with our normal buffing procedure. Once you're ready to start buffing in between the letters, we want to take our machine and turn it horizontally. So run that Lake Country double-sided wool pad, run that pad horizontally and let it work in between all those letters, all those cracks. Let those fibers work in that compound. Now, really the best compound here is Stark Level R for this purpose because it allows the compound to break down. Stark Level R, diminishing abrasive, going to start around 600, 800, finish down to 1200. So really, this does excellent. Now, if you're to use something like 3M Heavy or Presta Supercut or one of these heavy cut compounds, you know, that pad and that compound's not going to fully work in. So you're still going to have a lot of scratches, and it's not going to shine up like this compound's going to. So when I'm finished, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like, and it looks amazing. So again, run this pad slow, be careful, take your time, let it fully work in. Turn the buffer any angle that you need to. And yeah, you guys might have thought like, hey, I'm going to use this 1-inch machine, or I'm going to do all this by hand. No, not going to happen. This really is honestly, guys, the best way to go about doing the letters. So low speeds, 600 RPMs. We got our rotary buffer. Run it slow. Don't break off those letters. Be careful. Always be careful when you're doing this. And yeah, this is a really good way to do the letters. And if you had the question, are we going to increase the RPMs to finish out Stark Level R in between the letters? And the answer to that is no, because the biggest concern here is actually ripping the letter off of the boat. So if you run at 2,000, 3,000 RPMs, we're going to have a greater chance of actually ripping the letter off the boat. So instead, we're going to run it low, keep it at 600 RPMs. Now on the rest of the boat, above the letters, below the letters, on the rest of the hull, yes, we are going to increase the RPMs to 1,000 to 1,200. That seems to be great for this particular gel coat. So every gel coat is going to run differently. And yeah, typically level R is great finishing around 1,000 to 1,500. And you might not think that's very high, but it is. If you guys really work this compound in, let it finish out to a polish, because it will. It will finish out very nice. And all you're gonna have to do is come back with Stark Elevate, a foam pad, and you're gonna be good to go. And yeah, that's the exact thing you wanna do with this boat. Finish the compound, jump into the polish, do the same steps with the foam pad, and you're gonna be set up perfectly prior to a polymer or a ceramic coating application. I thought on this next part of the video, I'd get you guys a better point of view. So check this out. We're going with the compound again. We got our applicator. We're gonna throw this on pretty thick because we are working with oxidation. So guys, on colors, on anything that you're working on that has oxidation, or right after a sanding job, you're gonna wanna throw a lot of compound on the boat. Now, Level R is gonna work in really nice, so we don't have to worry about having to buff this surface for 5 minutes like you would with 3M Heavy or Press to Supercut, right, or something that is basically a really strong compound that cannot diminish and cannot break down fast. But Level R, it can, so we don't need to worry. Throw that stuff on there. It's gonna work great. But yeah, here's the better point of view for you guys. Check it out. Buffer back in hand. And one point I wanted to make real quick, it doesn't matter if you have a DeWalt, a Makita, an Economical, something from Harbor Freight or something, just always run that buffer at the lowest speed when you're buffing in between the letters. Now, what strategy and what technique are we using right now to actually buff in the compound? Well, what I'm doing is I'm buffing in a section completely, and then I'm moving to the right and adding more compound into the game. So kind of what I'm doing, working that compound in fully, and then adding more in, adding more in, adding more in. So yeah, guys, there's a lot of different strategies to detail a boat, to buff, and yeah, there's no right or wrong way to do it. The only important part at the end of the day is that you worked in that compound completely, and you have set yourself up perfectly for the next step of polishing. So that's really what's key here, is buffing in completely, so that when you're polishing, you're not gonna have struggles, you're not gonna have concerns, and it's just gonna go on really nice. And the polishing, guys, should almost always be probably at least 3 times faster than buffing. Buffing is really slow, very tedious, takes a lot of time. It takes on average 2 to 3 minutes to actually fully buff in a panel with Stark Level R. 3M Heavy, Press the Supercut, up to 5 minutes. But yeah, guys, this stuff is amazing. If you guys haven't used Stark Level R, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you guys have to check this stuff out. I mean, I'm using this on every single boat, pretty much every single job. Just amazing stuff to work with, and there's nothing like it on the market. So check the link in the description below. Check that stuff out, guys. It'll blow your mind. topdock15 is the code. Link in description. I'm so glad I got this video footage, because now you guys can really see what I'm doing here. So I hope you're noticing how we went from dull to shiny, and we're really restoring a lot of that gloss back into the boat, and you guys get a better angle at how I'm buffing in between the letters. Now, I know you guys are probably going to have this question, because it does happen sometimes. So what if you're working around boat letters that are loose and they're about to come off the boat? Well, you don't want to take a buffer to that part of the boat. So you're going to want to do that part by hand. Let the client know that they have loose boat letters and they need to look into getting that fixed or re-glued back onto the boat. So absolutely, guys, you will run into that situation sometimes, and that's really the best way and the only way that you can go about that. important part that I didn't share in the beginning. So if you stuck around to this point, awesome. You're going to get another great tip for helping you and making this easier while you're doing this process. So I never said this, but you need to actually polish the bright work before you buff around the boat letters, because what this is going to do is this is going to remove all the dirt, all the grime, all the black that is stuck to your bright work, which is your boat letters. And yeah, so get your metal polish, get Stark metal polish, polish out all that stainless steel really quick, remove all that black, because if you don't, it's going to come off onto your wool pad, which is then going to come off onto the gel coat. So that just makes the cleaning, the wiping off process so much easier if you polish the boat letters beforehand, before you actually buff them out. To end out this video, I'm just going to throw on some music, guys. I'm going to kind of speed up the footage and just kind of watch, observe, learn for yourself, see what I'm doing, and I will see you at the conclusion of the video. And that's a wrap to the video. If you guys liked the video, leave a like, drop a comment, and yeah, if you have any questions, drop those in the comments below. Be sure to share the video with other detailers, other boat owners, and be sure to check out 1%detail.com. Be sure to check out the courses, all our products, all our affiliate links. And with that said, guys, I will see you on the next video. Peace out.